The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
Hello, this is TalkTainmentRadio.com, and you're listening to Stairway To Heaven, and your host, Dr. Bass Claude Smith, and my co-host is Bishop Gregory Fly. Bishop Fly is not here because he's ill today, but we're going to try to talk about some things, going to have some fun on the radio today, and just talk about anything. The topic was first half 50 minutes will be someone worse than me. That's my topic, and so that's going to be pretty short. And I'm going to give a shout out to all my friends, my wife, and some of my co-workers at Mount Carmel Lab on Schrock Road. Right now, I have Evangelist Patricia Smith. Carl, are you there?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right, glad to hear you.
Glad to be on.
All right, thank you. As I said before, Bishop Fly is not here today, and Evangelist Smith is going. I'm actually kind of sit in a little bit to be co-host for the evening, and like I said today, as I said, Bishop Fly topic was prayer, but when he comes back, I'm gonna let him handle that. And the little thing I'm gonna say about this, there's a song that Little Richard put out called "Someone Worse Than Me," and it's a pretty song. The song's about how we are living in nice homes and going to work every day, and we're grateful for what we got, and some of us are not grateful for what we got, and and there's someone that's out there that don't have anything, and someone it's good to be blessed that you got what you got, and there's others that don't have what we have. So, it's I won't gonna say it's real worse, but it's not really that bad. But it's when you don't have a place to stay to lay your head, and you don't have an income coming in to help you out, then it's sort of kind of bad. Well, anyway, you see people every day walking the streets, asking for money. I ain't gonna say begging, asking for money to eat or something to carry them over for that day, which they're out there doing the rain, snow, don't care what type of weather it is. They are out there trying to get something to help themselves to get them over. So.
Wisdom and with all,
and so that's all. So that's what they try. Evangelist Smith, have anything to say?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question, Dr. Bass, on your program that you're doing as far as being a DJ here in the city of Columbus. I noticed that there's not that many DJs that play quartet music. I know there's a new generation coming up, but there's still a lot of the older generation that really like to hear quartet music. So my question to you is it okay for you to play a little more of the quartet music that some of the people within the city of Columbus and surrounding areas would like to hear? Back when I was coming up, that's all I listened to was a lot of quartet music. So, like I said, there are people that still out there that likes it. So, what do you say about trying to get a little bit more music and maybe learn a little bit more about the quartets within the United States of America?
That's one thing that I'm trying to do, and hopefully that will happen, that I will be able to play a lot more quartet music. There's a lot of young quartets out there. One thing, at one time, Columbus used to be the kingpin of the quartet singing. They used to have quartet singing here every 2 months, and that I do remember because I was part of it. And when, things change, and, there are a lot of people hunger for quartet quartet. A lot of people on quartet. A lot of people think quartet is dead. No, quartet is not dead. It's still going on from work because of what I see on the Facebook page. There's so many young quartets out there, and on the way I can get them to play their stuff, I have to get permission from them to give it to to the station so we can play it, and that's what I'm working on. Been working on trying to do that. Trying to get get permission from them to play that stuff, and with some of the stuff that I played, I'm gonna say this: some of the stuff that I have played, I don't own the music, but I do have permission for some groups to play it. And soon as we get things straightened out, hopefully it gets straightened real soon, we will be playing a lot of quartet music. Does that help you out?
Yes, that helps out a lot. I've noticed that me myself, when I go on Facebook or some of the different sites, that a lot of quartets. There's a lot of them in the southern area, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, places like that, and they're thriving. They're thriving really good now. When you come up north a little bit toward Columbus and New York, you don't hear as much with them as you do in the southern states. I don't know why. Why do you think that is? What do you think the difference is that?
Well, the difference is that one time it's growing, but north is still getting it slowly because you got a lot of organizations that's I ain't gonna mention no names. You got some ministers out there that's against quartet singing in their churches and in these recreations, and some of these ministers that don't like quartet. Most of them had the bigger churches or the big churches around here. I'm not mentioning no churches or anything, names or anything, but they are the ones that don't want quartet in their singing, but they in their churches. But one thing they must remember, and I will say this, one thing I will say, that when they were small and didn't have the crowd, the congregation that they had quartet singing in their church every Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever they had, there's a quartet singing. They had the quartets there. Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, they had it.
Right.
But soon as all those pastors that some of these churches are older than what had been here a while, and the pastors that were ministers that had their church and found their church had them churches had them quartets there, and all of a sudden when the pastors passed on or he moved on, another minister get in there, and he will ban it, say no more quartet here. We'll just have choirs and everything. Well, I don't mind the choirs, but they done got faded out. Two Sisters New Gospel thing done came in. They've been faded out. But getting back to that quartet sing, it's coming. I could from some of the programs. I know we got one coming up in May, a big one coming here in May, and it's I believe it's the Sean and the boys and somebody else will be coming in there with that package. But it's right here in Columbus in May. And like as I said before, it's growing. It's just got to get a little push, and the promoters are got to get together. I'm trying to get, if I can, get a hold of the promoters here in Columbus and bring them to the station. We can all sit down and talk and try to work this thing out. And
right.
Then they'll smooth out. Like I said, some of these you got some that's I can't pronounce the word I'm looking for, but they kind of. Some against think I'm gonna say little jealousy of each other, and some are jealous of one because they think they gonna bring the top group in. But if they all get together, everything will be they can bring these groups in here left and right because you got your
Well, Dr. Bass, do you think? I was just thinking something just came to me in a few minutes. Do you think that maybe if you can get together and do a petition, even make flyers with a number on it, so that people can call the people that still likes the quartet's music? Do you think maybe we get a petition out for them to sign it, call, and then you'll know how many people you got backing you to do this? And then you'll know when you're started, because if you got the backing, no matter what nobody says, they're going to back you up with it, and you can go forward for what you're going to do. What do you think about that, Dr. Bates?
That sounds good. That sounds good. Maybe we can draw a petition up and have some members to bring the quartet thing back in here. There's two promoters. I know there's three promoters here. There's another one from Dayton. He's doing promoting up here also. And
Okay.
if I can get them four, Quartet Baby, she's gone. I can't get her. She's gone now. That she don't live here no more. But if I can get them three to come here and we sit and talk and we get this petition together, maybe we can pull some things together and get this town back up. Dayton is good. Is getting bigger. Cincinnati is going back.
Right.
Dayton they are pulling it together, bringing it back, because Cincinnati is a quartet town. Because that's where I grew up, and that's where I started my quartet training with the Mighty Gospel Travelers. And Dayton got theirs too. What they had, and I can name some of the old groups there. The Corliers, used to be a group called the Wandering Souls, and it's so many groups. There's so many young groups out here that need to be shown, need to be produced, and I think that's the way it should. That's what they need, because it's a lot of like the groups here. Besides the Keys of Harmony, which we're still together, people, and I'm giving a shout out to the Keys. The show is brought to you by. Let me say this: the show is brought to you by Refuge Baptist Church and the Keys of Harmony. You got, and I'm gonna name. You got some young men of God's heart. That's a young group. You got the Divine Angels. That's another young group. And the list goes on. On OCC, I can bring them. They're not that old, but there's another group. Then you got your older groups. You got your Lyric Supremes, and you got your other groups. You got some more. But there's a lot of groups here there's a couple of new young groups here that I haven't seen. And then there's the Basement Boys, and they are from here. So the thing is, we got to get the promoters together, and we got to get the managers here to sit down and talk, say, let's get this petition, get this thing, and bring this thing together. And that's what it takes, promoters and the managers of each group to get together and work out some things. And maybe this town, maybe Columbus will go back into the quartet, get back the quartet title or the quartet king, because Columbus was the quartet king, and it's better. Oh, for those who want to call in on this conversation and the music, everything, this is the Talktainment's new number, 614-401-3889. Hey, I'm sorry, 8339. At 614-401-8339. And if you feel like you want to come in the conversation and talk, call at that number. And as I said, I'm trying to, besides I have the ministries here, which I don't have by myself today, but they're not here. But like I said, I'm trying to get a chance to promote the quartets and try to get them here. Get there. And I would love to get them quartets here. Love to get them. So I'm going to, if I get a chance, if I ever find a program that's around, I'm going to talk to the managers and get them on here, and we can talk how to get the group got started and what we can do to build this quartet scene, build the quartet scene up. And maybe Columbus will be, but really to say this, I don't think the quartets here, and I don't believe, I may be wrong, I may be right, and I don't believe that the quartets have any of the gospel DJs here. Some of them here are pushing them. I mean, you got your Kirk Franklins, Mary Marys, and all them out there. Okay, it's fine, but you don't have any, and you probably have maybe one that may push it, but he may not be cannot push that, may not can be pushed like he want to. And it sometimes may not be the DJ, may be the program director that stops that, may not have it going on. So you have to watch out what that program director how he got it set on the station. But I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking forward to do thing with quartets, and I'm looking forward to do a whole hour and with quartets and managers here and playing their music and everything. And that's what I'm looking for looking for that to happen. I hope it comes, and praying, hoping that it comes through. Also, like there is one quartet, bunch of young ladies, Tammy Edwards of the Edwards sisters. Tammy, the lead singer, is having a birthday today, and I wish Tammy had a happy birthday today. And sorry for the loss about Tonette Edwards, one of the sisters that, as I said before, they had lost her. She had died a couple of weeks ago, and they put her. She went on with the Lord 2 weeks ago, and she was the one, the background singer. So a shout out goes to the Edwards sisters, and praying, hoping that they continue on. And there's a lot of another group I'm looking to get back together, come back out there. And how many of y'all remember the Lundsey sisters? They're from South Carolina. I hope they come through. Looking for them too. I talked to one of them. They said they haven't got back in the studio yet, but they're working on it. They're thinking about it, getting it back together. So if some come up from them, I will let you know, and I'll try to get them to send me one. There's another group that's called. I talked to a young man, and the group was called. Wasn't Hearts of Joy. Whatever, I forgot the name of the group. That's another young group I talked to, and he's supposed to send me permission to play his stuff. He's going to send me a copy of it's just a single, and they're going to send me their stuff. And I'm looking for permission and Restore. They got some new stuff out, and I'm going to try to call them and talk to them, tell them to send me some of their stuff and their permission to play it. The Children of God in Cincinnati, Sharonda Bryce. If I know you can't hear it, but I know she got a good friend here. If I can get a hold of her and get her to send me something, we're gonna play it. I'm trying to play I love to play every quartet that's out there. The young, local, and all locals, all professionals. I want to try to get it where we can build a show up to play the young guys, the young people, and the older groups. Can't leave the older groups out, because if it wasn't for the older groups, the young groups, quartet singers would not be here, and they're following into our footsteps, and they're trying to get there. And I'm looking for that, and very definitely looking for that to happen, to get them young quartets, and I wish. Hopefully, I would like to. One thing I would like to do, I would like to have the old and the young quartets on the same ticket or the same show, and let the young folks do their thing, quartet sing first, and then let the older set come in.
That sounds good.
Come behind them, or vice versa. Put the older groups on, put the older gospel quartets on first, then let the young ones come on up behind them. And see how it works, and be true to tell ya. This one, the groups are here. There's some been. I dug back and looked back at some groups way back in the 20s and 30s. Even the Dixie Hummingbirds, they were that old. They're old. The Georgia boys, you call it the Swanee Quartet. They was known as Georgia boys, and they've been out there 80 years. 80 years singing.
We have a new message from unknown.
And
message is what address? Michigan. CHKS may be waiting.
Spencer Taylor and his group. Spencer Taylor, he's 80 years old, and they did a book on him. Somebody, I think his son wrote a book on Spencer Taylor. Howard QC's featuring Spencer Taylor, and there's a book out on him. There's another, he's about, well, maybe he's 90. That's how he's 90. That's how Spencer Taylor, he's 90. Reverend Thomas Spam of the Brooklyn All-Stars, he's still out there. He's got the Brooklyn All-Stars. The Howard QC's and the Brooklyn All-Stars, They've been out there a long time, along with the Swanee Quintet. Been out there a long time. The Pilgrim Jubilee, half of them are gone. It's only maybe one or two of them left, but they still going on. And I'm just naming some of the old ones, just a few of the old ones. Swanee Quintet, Violinaires, Mighty Clouds of Joy. All the originals are gone, but they got the young guys pushing it on. And it's a good thing that that these young groups today watched us and formed their own group. It's a beautiful thing that they did that, and I would love for them to love for them young guys to keep going. Don't let nothing come in their way, because there are a lot of things out there happening when you're a young gospel group. There's a lot of distraction, a lot of temptation, and you got a lot of things that will distract you. And so, but you got to just gotta keep going, keep going on, be strong, and everything, and everything will be okay. If you don't let nothing get in your way, you will go on, but you got to watch yourself when you're out there. And I'm telling you this from experience. I've been out there, and I've seen some things that wasn't right. So you got to try to hold on to. Got to keep yourself together on that front line. So that's what I'm looking for. Be careful. That's just advice from an old pro, just giving you some advice to be careful and work out. Anything else, caller?
No, that's about it. I just wanted to check on how the program is going to work with the quartet singers. I do believe that, like I said, there's a lot of people, I talk to people, and they say, what happened to the quartet music? We're not getting the music like we used to get, And I said, well, they're working on it. So hopefully, like I said, there's a couple of ideas that I think might help you to get that going. And whatever you need me to do, I will try to help, because I loved quartet music. My father was a quartet singer, so I really like the music. Okay? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for calling in.
Okay.
Yes, quartet, as I said, the quartet world is growing, and the quartet world is trying to build it back up. And I remember, for example, last year when we had that gospel explosion, and that came, and then sit there when I had the Mighty Gospel Travels, just in local groups here in the city, that was a success. And I had people asking me, when am I going to when are we going to have that again? Well, we have to see if we have to work on the singers and see if they got opening dates. Now, I tell you who I wish I could bring up here is the New Christianaires. I wish I could bring them here. And it's a lot of groups I wish I could bring here. There's one group I used to be with called Thurman Ivory and the Gospel Consolators. They are from Fort Davis, Alabama. That's another local young group. They are good. It's a lot of groups out there, and they should be heard. And I hopefully one day on the program, on the show, we get things together. I'll be playing their music with their permission, and maybe try to save some money up and get them up here. Now they ain't gonna come up here for a bologna sandwich and crackers. You got to have their stuff when they get here, and hopefully I can get. Hopefully we can get the promoters together, sit down, talk, bring them up here, and talk to them, and have them come up and talk about it and find out the history of the group and everything else. This is what I'm looking for. To talk about the group and get in the history of the group. That's all I would love to hear, how they got started. Another thing is that, let me tell you, don't forget to get those who are about to get their shots. Please don't forget your COVID shots. Please don't forget to take them, because it's helping you. And it's up to you. I'm not just rather don't they give them the shots out. Please get those shots. And I already had my 2, so only got a sore arm, so I'm getting it's just a sore arm. But please do that. And getting close to my YouTube fans. I'm gonna say it before. This is Stairway to Heaven, brought to you by the Refuge Baptist Church and the Keys of Harmony. As I said, the Keys of Harmony are still together. We're transition soon as Joe Jr. Get to mission. We will be back together, and we will be back out here. And soon as we get back together, I'm gonna have the manager, Joe Jr. and the managers here, and we can talk and everything. But as I will be going to programs, we'll be trying to talk to the promoters, we'll try to talk to the managers, and set up a manager's day on the show, and just maybe have one manager at a time, and so we can get get Columbus back on the map as far as quartet singing. And I'm praying that happens, and that's my goal for the show Stairway to Heaven, have a lot of quartet singers come on and talk about how they got started, their new sound when they make their new recording and everything. Because when this pandemic is over, I know it's gonna be a whole lot of singing going on. And for you choir directors, I'm gonna say something about you too. I'm not gonna try to leave you out, because I know what you're gonna say. Dr. Bass picked quartet, but what about us choir lovers? Well, you people that love choir singing, I will mix it up. So we just got a lot of work we got to do, and a lot of things we got to do this year, and hopefully that it will come around. Hopefully we'll get to I'll talk to Mike Gill and bring the Gospel Travelers up here. All right, this is Dr. Bass on YouTube TV. Get ready to sign off, and remember, the mind's done but the garden don't put nothing in it, and hope to see you next time on YouTube.